everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, we're going to do a little bit of reading, probably stop at like 8, 8 o'clock. I don't like to read out loud, only because it's a lot of material, and I don't have a doctorate, nor am I speaking in front of thousands and thousands of people. So, it sounds better in my head. I can hear the words more fluently. And so I just wanted to tell you guys that that's what I'll be doing. I will be reading, but in my head, um, taking some notes. I got something to tell y'all. I wrote this. I need to start right. I'm gonna start when I move. I'm gonna start keeping journals of what I ask, because I sit up there, and what I ask the people, the guests that I interview, I try to mix it around between me and um, the computer. But even before Grok, I always did it off top of my head, but I want to include Grok because I feel like Grok has some pretty cool ideas sometimes, but I don't want to depend on him, fully. So I try to mix around what questions I can't think of, what questions that I may have. And I think that is wonderful to include somebody that can give you a vast amount of information in such a short period of time, and then help me see, even though I don't get a win, because I know my life isn't for wins like other people. Even if I don't get a win, I get acknowledged by the people that are looking up my stuff. And Grok, he's opened my eyes to ways to take the necessary steps to move up the process. And yeah, so I wanted to include him. And I just started. And I think I did pretty good. I asked like maybe 7 to 10 questions off top of my head and used Grok for like 2 or 3. I think that was pretty cool. The last person I talked to, Todd Moderna. I hope I said his name right. He uh he was talking about electricity. I haven't never said that term before, hydroelectricity. And he said it's one of the hardest things to produce because there's tubes and wirings and everything. That really interests me. You know, I I enjoy learning about people, even when I don't get the concept, because they dive right into the what they're doing instead of talking about their past, present, and future. They'll dive in. They still have a story about what they have learned and retained along the way on their journey. Maybe, for instance, I think her name is Catherine Rawell. She she dove right in. She was a sheriff, and now she does business analytics. You know, I enjoy listening to her. I learned a lot. I still got the notes, and that's why. No, these aren't the notes, and you wouldn't understand that, but I would. But um, I'm gonna start keeping what I write and start playing around between computer and human to see what I can come up with versus what Grok can come up with. Um, I like doing that. I think that that is really necessary because one day I will have a robot of Grok in the future. If I make it to the future, some people are saying, but I have a computer that can walk, get up and walk and perform tasks. You know, they were doing this thing that I appreciate, and then we're going to move on and start the reading at the University of Washington. I hope I said that right. They were coding. They were learning how to freaking code. They had a 2 or 3 day event where people come there and they have to stay up for 3 days to learn how to code. And Microsoft was there, and I think Google was there. I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't know what to do because I know the game. The game is they would sit up there, they would sit next to you, one of the assistants, and they would go, well, what do you think should be done? And then they'll have you say, well, I think this should be done like this. And then they said, well, go ahead and put it in. And then it doesn't work. And then they like, well, keep at it. But they wouldn't give out any information. And then I heard Facebook um, fired 600 workers. Facebook fired 600 workers. Wow, Facebook. They are going to be infamous. Tesla and Facebook, they're really intelligent people, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. What would you do if you were in Mark Zuckerberg's situation or Elon Musk where people were trying to infiltrate the computer system, or they were talking about doing things that, you know, who knows, but I doubt, I'm not saying everybody is like that. I'm talking about Mark, Facebook, that's what they deal with. But I don't know in this case if it happened like that. I, I, I don't want to believe 600 workers probably ran through their mind to try to take advantage of the situation now that they were in a Facebook contract. You have to think like that. Or they just have to downsize. But those people will be infamous or famous. I don't like using infamous because I keep forgetting what the word means. Infamous mean famous for infinity, probably. But famous, I hear that word thrown around a lot. But yeah, famous. So let's get started. We're here. We're here. And okay, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this tomorrow, review principles, and I'm going to give myself 3 days to look at it. So that's 24th, 25th, 26th. What I'm going to do right now is what my teammate, I don't want to leave him hanging. So, a team agreement. Oh man. Um, that threw me off, man. How to make a team. Okay. Let me write my teacher. I haven't heard from him and I'm getting scared. But no news, we don't know if no news is good news. We don't know that. And I can't do nothing until I start. I really can't do nothing. So, ah, fiddlesticks. Okay. I have to ask him what a team agreement is because how Grok says it, that's the standard. All my work is caught up, but I haven't gotten a response from him. So the reason why I'm taking some steps back, I want to look at the Google document that he set up, at least look at that. But the reason why I'm taking some steps back is for my protection. Um, I have to make sure that I am going to meet with my teacher. And then on top of that, um, take some time out to deflect with something else, a tutor or something. Okay, I have to see something really quick. What is the name? What in the buck? That cannot be right. Show me the timeline. How can you go backwards? Do y'all see what I'm seeing? Really? Is that how we going today? It took you 4 seconds to give me a blank graph. Okay. Never did that before. You know what I like about ChatGPT? You can just start asking questions. You can just start. Let's see if the graph shows up. And they don't be on our time. ChatGPT isn't on our time. Why can't I see a graph? What is the big deal? I'm about to look at what he added and put to before I click out of here. I just want to see the graph. Once the graph come on, then I'll show y'all the graph and then we can move on from there. I don't understand how you go from 325 BCE to 235 BCE. I never heard of time going backwards. You got 100, what comes after 100? 200. But you don't have 300 and then 200 comes after 300. That would be 400. And so that's why what sparked my curiosity about this guy, this man. If it comes on, there we go. There we go. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna square this away. Something isn't adding up. Maybe they do it backwards. Why does it go down through the years? Like, for example, 313 turning to 38. Is it backwards? What these years goes forward, not backwards. I still don't get that. You see the ticker to the right? I just have to know this timeline. Time was moving backwards. Now it's moving forward. If they did the timeline like that, I can't wait to see this. I could be wrong. Let me speak to a theologist. They'll tell me the right answer. Almost there, you guys. And the last part is always the craziest. That's the same thing I just seen. Oh, I get, okay. They were counting down to zero. And then what? What did zero, I guess it's AD, um, meant, mean 180 or what? Show me a graph from era to now. Where did it come from? In India, zero wasn't used in Western calendars until centuries later. So he was before Christ. Wow. What if one day we built 13 months? That would kill the slaves. The slaves, including me, would be like, no, I don't want a 0 month. I want to know, would there ever be a 0 month for purposes of extension of the seasons? Because everywhere is doing something bipolar. Lunar cycles, okay. But we can change that though. It would look like this. Okay. Oh, it would be inserted every few years, similarly to a leap year, but sometimes, oh, the Babylonians and Romans sometimes added an extra month to realign the year with the seasons. Oh, Hebrew and Chinese calendars still have leap months. See how the Chinese are always ahead of me in Hebrew. Balance the solar drift that occurs with leap year errors. Be used to transition seasons between winter and spring. serve as a universal reset month, holidays, maintenance, reflection. So month zero, solar reset. Just imagine the 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 seasons wouldn't change. But if we could, you know how the invisible line that goes around the solar system, that rotates them, like if we can, because we don't have to learn how to do something like that, but if we could tamper with it a little to balance the moon with with you know, just for purposes of helping. This would be used for purposes of helping Earth and not hurting Earth. You know, how about we start thinking of things to help Earth instead of hurt Earth? You know, I used to be a litterer, if that's a word, someone who litter. I don't do that no more. And I think because I know that this earth is alive. We're actually sitting backwards as we speak, like some kind of bats. We laugh at bats, and the bats laugh right back at us, saying, "Well, we're chilling upside down, but y'all chilling upside down too, if you think about it. Without gravity, we will float off into the whatever sphere, beyond all the spheres, into the solar system somewhere." And I I love Earth. I really do. Not many people say it. Some people just say, "I love Earth," and then tomorrow they be littering or doing something to hurt Earth. But I truly love Earth. I love the way it helps create gasoline, which gasoline is very, very bad. But right now we're transitioning from hybrid to fully electric. I love the way it gives oil. I love the way it rotates and the sun, at the exact moment. We all are being shined upon at the exact moment. But there are some aspects that make you wonder, being 3 hours ahead or 12 hours ahead, you know, I don't know. Yeah. So I love talking about the future and the past and all that good stuff. But China has it and Hebrew has it. Leap months, we have a leap day, and that's every 3 years. It's either already been invented or it's been invented. Let me do one more thing. I've never seen it like this before, though. I have never seen it like this before. So that's what intrigued me. From 312 to 230 BC. I was paying attention, but to reread something is, you know, You buy a house for 4K with a mortgage of 360K and you sell it later for 440. Your ROA is 10% minus 4. Your return is 40K divided by the asset 4K. It feel good to reiterate. Um, so let's look at what he put so far. Come on. Oh, I gotta copy and paste this. Fiddlesticks. Somebody is making some spam. That's the one thing I'm gonna miss about the being in an apartment. Especially, I'm thankful that my neighbors are um, all races. So you can smell different fragrances from different buildings, parts of the building. I'm gonna start getting on this Google Suave thing. I asked him about that. It just seems so straightforward. Okay. So where are the attached files? This is all the way in 3. Wonder what's to come for this. How many can? Okay. Oh, that was very smart of him. Oh, here it is. Okay, great. I didn't read 3. What is this? Oh, I don't need that no more. Where is it at? Mm. I don't know his information. Um, let's see. Where is it at? Okay, we will, let me, we need to meet again. Let me see, I wrote down the next time we meet. Um, Let me write him again. So November 7th. So I'm gonna lay that to the side. I'm pretty glad he got this all taken care of, and all needs to be done is filling in the blanks. Um, this is gonna take a lot of teamwork. So let's see. Hello. I just want to. Let me make sure. Okay. Fiddlesticks. It looks like, hmm, trying to find out his email address. It's crazy. I guess they don't do. That is so crazy. I need his email address. I could try to drop it in the Google files. Where are you at? Okay, this is Save to Dry. Let me see something. Tab 1, tab 2. Yes. Okay. Hmm. Let me stop being nosy. Sorry. This is so weird. Oh my God, what just happened? Where's tab 1? How did that get there? Save. Save. What is his name? Dave Connor. I don't know his. I don't know him. Wait. I'll send him the link. Here is the link for the team of three. That's pretty cool. Ah, okay. So I went on ahead and did the team agreement, and I was going to even take a day off today, which I technically kind of didn't, but at least he got the skeleton. At least I got some of the project for the team agreement. He can write what he expects out of me, and as a team, can collaborate and you know, just make this happen. Create a project based on critical thinking and user friendly skills. You know, that's all I got to say about that. So anyway, I'm about to get off of here. It's 8:12, probably about to be 8:13. I don't know. But y'all take care, be safe, and I'm about to get ready to go to bed, you know. So take care, you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Remember, hopefully one day when what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna rewrite my book, and this time I'm gonna get some help from somebody that uses KDP. I know what my email address is, but I don't know if I have two-factor authorization. Um, anyway, getting back to the story, I'm trying to write a book, rewrite it, and do it the right way. I want to make sure that this book um, gets someone that will be touched by it. I done told my whole story. You know, it's going to take me at least 6 months to a year. What I was going to do is get on back on KDP and look at what I wrote, which I'm disgusted at what I wrote. Not because no one bought it, but because of how they manipulated my and didn't even edit my stuff. They just took my money and ran, you know. So that's what happens when you're not a billionaire, you know. And then some people still take your money and run, but When you're not a billionaire, the more money you have, you don't see nobody robbing someone for billions of dollars. Billionaires aren't that dumb, you know. Say I'm about to rob him. No, did y'all hear about that heist? They said there wasn't no security at the museum, but now there will be. I when they said that, I was like, so you're telling me with all millions and billions of dollars worth of materials that you don't have security watching it daily? Maybe the statistics are wrong and y'all probably don't have as much crime as over here. But over here, like, you got to be the biggest thief. You must have started off as a tiny little toddler just stealing money. Your mother be like, "Oh, where'd my dollar go?" And the baby have it in his diaper, and then you're like, "Oh, okay. I must have lost it." You know? Like, why would you want to steal jewelry? Why? I mean, and that's why I say they must not have that much crime there. I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what's going, the world don't know what's going on there. Even the ones that visit don't know what's going on. And they said it was an inside job. I'm just saying what they said, man. They said it was an inside job. And I'm like, yeah, with all that technology, y'all don't have things right there, like cameras right there. That's billions and millions of dollars or millions and billions of dollars worth of jewelry. Now, y'all will. Somebody found a loophole. Who got back that jewelry? Be honest. Who got back that jewelry? I'm just kidding. Let me stop. They were like, it was an inside job. I was like, oh man, I know it was. You weren't, they never lie. They never lie. So you have to take it as what they said. It was possibly an inside job. Good night, y'all. I hope I made some of you laugh. Good night.
Never waste my time. You are